Something to figure out later. Now, regarding your weapons, what type would you like? A lightning attribute sword, sir. He nods without hesitation. Magic-grade weapons are apparently pocket change for the church. They can produce as many as they want. Then I get led to my new room. I stand in the doorway and just stare. It's a suite. Over 100 square meters. Multiple rooms. White color scheme. Very church aesthetic. Clean, simple furniture. A proper bed. A real bed. In a room that's mine. No roommates. No sleeping on dirt. No cargo wagons. 16 years of suffering, and suddenly I have an apartment. I literally don't know what to do with myself. Before I can even process this, someone knocks. I open the door. A short girl with golden hair, pale skin, and an oval face stands there in white robes. She barely reaches my chin. Sir, my name is Milia. I've been assigned to take care of your daily needs. A personal attendant? Take care of my daily needs? Yes, sir. Every noble-ranked student gets a dedicated servant. I'm new to this, but I studied very hard. I promise I'll do a good job. She's earnest and eager, and I trust her about as far as I can throw this building. Which, given my strength stat, might actually be pretty far, but that's beside the point. I've spent 16 years being manipulated by people who smiled while they hurt me. A girl shows up the moment I get a title, assigned by the institution, with full access to my living space. That's not a servant. That's a spy. I label her surveillance in my mental filing cabinet and adjust accordingly. She will never see the real me. She gets polite, distant clan. Nothing more. Come in. She immediately starts making my bed while I awkwardly hover, having no idea how to behave when someone is being nice to me on purpose. This is genuinely more uncomfortable than fighting stone giants. I retreat to the living room and start training. An hour later, another knock. Milia answers it. My rewards have arrived. She brings everything over. The credits are already loaded into my Viscount badge. The magic stones are there. And somewhere in that pile is my new weapon. A real, magic-grade, lightning attribute sword. For me, 16 years of starvation, abuse, and sleeping on floors. And now I'm a Viscount with a suite, a servant, a monthly salary, and a magic sword. Not bad for a C-rank talent. I pick up the sword and my hands are actually trembling. Not from fear, from pure excitement. A real weapon. Finally, Flash Thunder Sword. Single-handed. Magic grade. Boosts lightning magic flow speed and increases thunder skill damage by about 20%. The description is short, but I don't care. After fighting an entire tournament with bargain bin scrap metal that shattered every other fight, this thing might as well be Excalibur. Next up, magic stones. The instructions are simple. Wear one while training, circulate your magic, and it automatically feeds you extra energy. I strap a mid-level stone around my neck and start practicing the thunder summoning art. The difference is insane. Normally, I can only manage 2.5 full cycles before my body starts breaking down. With this stone, I blast through 5 cycles and still feel like I could keep going. My training efficiency just doubled overnight. I check the stone afterward. It's slightly dimmer. So they're consumable. If I could get a steady supply of these things, my growth rate would be absolutely terrifying. I finish training and collapse into bed. Milia, my attendant / probably spy, sees me lie down and retreats to her little side room. I'm sure she's forming her first surveillance report right now. Subject went to bed at a reasonable hour. Preliminary assessment. Boring. Then midnight hits. Congratulations, host. Critical hit triggered. Bonus reward. Strength, agility, constitution, and spirit each one. My eyes fly open. Did I just get 4 points in one night? I check my panel. All 4 main stats went up by 1. That's not a daily point. That's a jackpot. A critical hit on the stat lottery. I didn't even know that was possible. I try to calm down. I fail. I spend the next 2 hours lying in bed vibrating with excitement before I finally pass out. Morning. Despite sleeping maybe 4 hours, I feel completely refreshed. Spirit stat doing its job. Sir, you're up already? Yeah. According to the instruction sheet, classes start today. Classes. The Royal Academy actually has a curriculum, but access depends on your rank. Nobles get the full menu. Knights get the basics. Commoners get scraps. Slaves get nothing. As a Viscount, I get 3 months of class hours per year, and I can choose from literally any subject: swordsmanship, military strategy, blacksmithing, you name it. and I can opt for private one-on-one tutoring instead of group lectures. The catch is that private sessions burn through class hours much faster. But first, I need to check my talent panel to figure out what I should actually study. Swordsmanship talent, 10. Expected, and already committed to this. Then I see it. Blacksmithing talent, 17. 17? That's my highest talent stat by a landslide. I had no idea I was a natural blacksmith. Second highest is alchemy at 4, and everything else is barely 1 or 2. Decision made. Main focus, swordsmanship. Secondary, blacksmithing. And I'll take basic alchemy too, not because I'm talented at it, but because knowing how to identify herbs in the wild could save my life someday. Even a 4 in potion talent is enough to learn the fundamentals. Oh, and I still need to find Quinn, the contact Mr. Wisher arranged for me. Though honestly, my starting position might be higher than what Mr. Wisher imagined when he gave me that token. A Viscount title with a private suite wasn't exactly what either of us expected. I head to the swordsmanship tutoring office. The receptionist practically bows. Esteemed Viscount student, are you here for private sword instruction? Yes. Show me the instructor list. They hand me a magic book. The pages auto-update with each instructor's current status. I flip through and spot one immediately. Name, Kigangso. Level, 44. Specialty, Water Thunder Swordsmanship. Cost, half a day's class hours per session. Requirement, Baron rank or above. Status, available. Water Thunder. The water part is listed first, which means water might be his primary element. Not ideal for me since I'm pure thunder, but he does teach lightning sword techniques. I keep flipping. No rush. I want to find the perfect match. After a month of building this thunder foundation, I'm not about to waste my class hours on a teacher whose specialty only half overlaps with mine. I'm flipping through the instructor book when a name stops me cold. Name, Quinn Ohm. Level, 39. Specialty, lightning swordsmanship. Cost, quarter-day class hours per session. Requirement, knight rank or above. Status, available. Quinn. The Quinn. The guy Mr. Wisha told me to find. And he just happens to be a sword instructor who specializes in lightning. My exact element? Mr. Wisha, you absolute legend. You didn't just give me a contact. You gave me a perfectly matched teacher who was sitting right here in the catalog the whole time. This one. The receptionist nods and sends for him. A few minutes later, Quinn walks in. I'm expecting a grizzled middle-aged veteran. Instead, it's a young guy, late 20s, maybe. At least a decade younger than Mr. Wisha. He spots my Viscount badge and looks confused. A top-ranked new student picking the budget instructor? That doesn't happen. We move to an empty classroom, and I get straight to it. Mr. Quinn. Do you know a Mr. Wisha? His eyebrows shoot up. Leighton Wisha? He sent you? I pull out the wooden token. The moment Quinn sees it, his whole demeanor softens. Whatever history these two have, it runs deep. If Wisha sent you, I'll take care of you. What technique are you practicing? The thunder summoning art. His eyes light up. That was apparently the perfect answer. In that case, I'll really take care of you. Wisha helped me a lot back in the day. I'll teach you the thunder summoning art and swordsmanship for free. Consider it repaying my debt to him. Free. Private. One-on-one. Lightning specialized tutoring. For nothing. I almost want to cry. Mr. Wisha spent a small bag of money to get me a better ship cabin, taught me an entire cultivation technique, arranged food upgrades, and set up a free private tutor at the academy. That man invested more in me during a 1-month escort mission than my own father did in 16 years. Let's use the paid hour first since you already spent the credits. After that, come to my place for regular sessions. Quinn draws his sword and faces me. Show me what you've got. The second he takes a stance, the pressure hits me like a wall. He's just standing there, but every fiber of my being is screaming, do not approach. He has 0 openings. He looks like an unsheathed blade. One step closer, and I'll be cut in half. So I don't move. I wait. Quinn nods slightly. Apparently most students panic under pressure from a stronger opponent and attack blindly, exposing their weaknesses. The fact that I recognized the trap and held my ground earns me some respect. Not that it helps. He comes to me instead. One casual, almost lazy thrust, and my sword goes flying out of my hands like it was spring-loaded. Can't even hold your sword, and you want to learn swordsmanship? Pick it up. Again, I grab the Flash Thunder sword off the floor. Round 2. Same result. Sword goes flying. Round 3. Flying. Round 4. Flying. Round 5. He's identified my problem, Incredible speed and strength for my age, but my fundamentals are garbage. Makes sense. I learned sword technique from a family that hated me, using an element I had zero affinity for. My foundation is basically non-existent. Every time he disarms me, he throws in a verbal jab too. Physical and psychological pressure simultaneously. Most kids would be mentally broken by now. I won't lie, my brain feels like it's been put in a blender. But I keep going. Every single time I get disarmed, I'm analyzing why. What angle did he attack from? Where was my grip weak? What was my positioning error? Round 6. Flying. Round 7. Flying. Round 8, 9, 10. Flying, flying, flying. Round 11. Quinn flicks his blade at my weak point, expecting the same easy disarm. My sword stays in my hand. He blinks. Tries again. My grip holds. He hits a different angle. Still holding. It takes him 4 more attacks before he finally knocks it loose. His eyes go wide. He just watched me go from, can't survive 1 hit, to, survives 4 hits, in the span of 11 exchanges. That's not normal learning speed. That's not even abnormal learning speed. That's, what the hell am I witnessing speed? He looks at my eyes. Still sharp. Still focused. No frustration, no self-pity, no quitting. Same determination as round 1. A long pause. Then, some improvement. Not enough? That's Quinn speak 4. I'm genuinely shocked, but I'll die before I admit it. I can tell. I pick up my sword. Again. That one rare compliment from Quinn, some improvement, tells me everything I need to know. I'm on the right track. Keep doing exactly what I'm doing. We continue sparring for the full hour, and apparently I shot Quinn multiple times. I went from, can't survive a single exchange, to, consistently blocking 4 or 5 strikes, within 60 minutes. His face keeps doing this thing where he tries to stay stoic, but his eyebrows betray him. I can feel him reevaluating me in real time. Not as a charity case for Mr. Wisha, but as an actual investment opportunity. And when a teacher starts thinking about return on investment regarding a student, that student is about to get very good training. All right, class time's up. Follow me. He takes me to his house. His house. The living room alone is bigger than my entire suite. Being a teacher apparently pays better than being a viscount. Starting today, you come here every day for at least 3 hours of sword training. You don't stop until I say you've graduated. Understood. Free daily private lessons from a lightning swordsmanship specialist. Am I understood? Sir, I would kiss your feet if you asked. Rest for 30 minutes first. Then we train. Fair. My arms are twitching uncontrollably from the earlier sparring. An hour of getting repeatedly disarmed by a level 39 swordsman will do that to your muscles. After the break, Quinn gets serious. He already knows my strengths and weaknesses from the testing, so he skips straight to the real curriculum. Fundamentals. Every day, you swing the sword 5,000 times. I'll have someone watching. If your form breaks, that rep doesn't count. 5,000. Per day. He hands me a practice sword, unsharpened, heavier than a normal blade. Then he calls over his attendant, a woman named Patty who's maybe 5 or 6 years older than me, wearing a maid outfit. Patty, count his swings. 5,000. Not one less. Yes, master. Quinn demonstrates the proper form a few times, confirms I understand the mechanics, and leaves. I start swinging. 500 reps in, I'm drenched in sweat. Fine. Expected. 1,000. Burning. 2,000. My arms feel like they're filled with wet cement. 3,000. The floor beneath me is literally a puddle of my own sweat. It looks like someone dumped a bucket of water where I'm standing. At some point past 3,000, my conscious mind checks out. I'm swinging on pure autopilot, my body moving from muscle memory while my brain floats somewhere above, disconnected from the screaming pain in my arms, shoulders, and back. Quinn walks back in, takes one look at me, and sighs. That's enough for today. He grabs the sword out of my hand. The moment the weight disappears from my grip, my body decides it's done. I fall backward like a cut tree. Quinn catches me before I hit the floor, then carries me to a bathroom. There's a bathtub filled with green liquid that smells like herbs. You lucky brat, he mutters, strips off my sweat-soaked clothes, and dumps me in. The instant that green liquid touches my skin, every aching muscle in my body goes, ah. It's like being hugged by warm medicine. My face, which was apparently frozen in a grimace of pain, relaxes completely. I might actually be smiling. I'm not sure. I'm too busy experiencing bliss. Half an hour later, I wake up in the green soup. The herb smell is strong but pleasant. This is obviously a medicinal bath, expensive stuff that Quinn prepared specifically for post-training recovery. The debt I owe this man is getting deeper by the hour. Since it's already been used on me, wasting it would be insulting. So I soak for another full hour until every drop of medicine has been absorbed into my body. Quinn walks back and right on cue. Clean water's over there. Wash up and come out. I rinse off, change into some old clothes of his, way too big, but functional, and step out. Then he points at a bed. Get on. Face down. I freeze. Excuse me? Quinn. Sir, I need to confirm something about your preferences before I stop staring and just do it. He looks annoyed, not anything else. So I cautiously lie face down on the bed, every survival instinct on high alert. Patty walks over. Her hands press into my back. Oh, a massage. It's a massage. It is not a gentle massage. It's the kind of massage where someone finds every single knot in your body and attacks it with the fury of 1,000 angry grandmothers. I'm screaming like a pig being slaughtered. Lighter. Please. Lighter. Patty ignores me completely and keeps going. If you want your body functional tomorrow, Quinn calls from the other room. This is mandatory. So this is my new daily life. 3 hours of sparring, 5,000 sword swings, a medicinal bath, and a massage so painful it counts as a second workout. I came to the Royal Academy expecting hell. I just didn't expect the hell to come with spa treatments. The massage lasts 30 minutes. 30 minutes of Patty finding muscles I didn't know I had and making them wish they didn't exist. By the end, I'm fairly certain I've experienced more pain from this recovery treatment than from the actual training. That's all for today. Come back tomorrow. Okay. I limp out of Quinn's house like a wounded animal. Every step sends a jolt through my body. I had plans to study blacksmithing today, but my body has officially filed a formal complaint and shut down all non-essential operations. The only thing I have energy for is sitting in a classroom. After half an hour of rest, I drag myself to a potion-making lecture. I picked the cheapest, most basic group class available. I'm starting from absolute zero in alchemy, so wasting expensive tutoring hours on this is what a plant looks like would be criminal. I'll learn the fundamentals in a crowd and save the premium instruction for swordsmanship. The classroom is packed. Apparently everyone wants to be an alchemist despite the fact that it requires insane talent, decades of effort, and mountains of money. The teacher doesn't even glance at my Viscount badge. In alchemy class, your rank means nothing. Only your potion talent matters. And mine is a humble 4. The lesson covers basic principles and common herbs. I write everything down in a little notebook. Not glamorous, but exactly what I need. After class, I discover the library. Viscount privileges grant free access to the first floor, second floor, and above cost credits. I haven't sat down and just read since arriving in this world. With my spirit at 20, my brain is running like a supercomputer. I absorb information effortlessly, connecting concepts, memorizing details. It's intoxicating. I lose myself completely in the books. Congratulations, host. Today you received Constitution 1. The midnight chime snaps me out of my reading trance. I've been in the library for hours without noticing. I reluctantly head back to sleep. Morning. My body still aches despite the bath and massage. Yesterday's training volume was just too extreme. But I check my stats and freeze. Strength, 21. Agility, 17. Constitution, 22. Spirit, 20. Level, 5. That's a lot more growth than just the daily point. The training, the medicinal bath, and the massage are all contributing to organic stat growth on top of my daily allocation. My body is leveling up from multiple sources simultaneously. Milia brings breakfast, 2 bread rolls, a bowl of meat soup, a steak, and fruit. As a Viscount, I get a monthly food supply, but the cooking is apparently my problem. Having Milia handle it is honestly the biggest perk of having an attendant. Well, the biggest legitimate perk. She's still classified as surveillance in my mental file. I head to Quinn's place, but he's not there. Patty tells me he's on a mission and won't be back for a week. A mission? Right. The Academy isn't a charity. Every student above slave rank has a newbie protection period. No obligations, do whatever you want. But once that expires, you get mandatory monthly tasks. Complete them for credits. Fail them, and you lose 100 credits per month. When your credits hit 0, your rank drops. All the way down to slave if it keeps going. And slaves here aren't people. They're resources. Property. Anyone can use and abuse them. The only way out is if your master has enough conscience to share credit, which, in a place built on exploitation, is about as common as snow in summer. So this protection period is precious. Every single day needs to count. 1 week without Quinn flies by. 7 daily stat points, 3 strength, 2 agility, 1 constitution, 1 spirit. But the training gains are even bigger. An additional 2 strength, 3 agility, 3 constitution, and 1 spirit from pure physical conditioning, plus the medicinal baths. My growth is coming from 3 sources now: daily system points, physical training, and alchemy-enhanced recovery. The combination is ridiculous. By day 2, I'd already adapted to the 5,000 swing routine. With the medicinal bath preventing burnout, I start adding extra practice on top. Just basics, nothing fancy, but each repetition is cleaner, smoother, more natural than the last. My swings from a week ago versus now are visibly different, even though the movements haven't changed. It's like watching a rough sketch slowly become a painting. My body has filled out more too. Charm, 73. Lifespan, 78 years. Potion studies are progressing slowly, but that's by design. I'm only here to learn herb identification, not become an alchemist. My 4-point talent makes that abundantly clear. No point wasting money on practical experiments when I'm just building a knowledge base. The real progress is in the sword. Every single day, I can feel the gap between me and a real swordsman getting smaller. Not closed, not even close, but smaller. And with my stat growth accelerating from every direction at once, give me a few more months. Then we'll see who's just a C-rank talent. Quinn comes back from his mission and walks in on me mid-practice. He stops dead in his tracks. I can see his brain short-circuiting. Whatever progress he expected after 1 week, this wasn't it. Apparently, it took him over a year to reach the level I'm at now. I've been formally training for 7 days. 7 days without his guidance. Just Patty counting reps and me swinging until I pass out. You're back, Mr. Quinn, yeah? Aren't you tired? Not really. I've still got extra practice after this. His face does this wonderful thing where confusion and disbelief fight for control. In his plan, I should be completely spent after 5,000 swings. Instead, I'm standing here, casually mentioning overtime. He has no idea about my daily stat points. Every day, my constitution and strength tick up, which means every day the same workout gets a tiny bit easier. Compound that over a week with medicinal baths on top, the math gets silly fast. It's all thanks to your medicinal baths, Mr. Quinn. I couldn't have improved this much without them. He shakes his head. No, this is your talent. I underestimated you, clan. You're even better than I thought. Patty, standing off to the side, looks like she's witnessing a unicorn. Apparently, Quinn complimenting someone is rarer than an S-rank talent. Want to test your current level? Spar with me. I just burned through 5,000 swings, but honestly, even exhausted, I'm significantly stronger than I was a week ago. I draw the Flash Thunder Sword. Same situation as before. Quinn stands there like an unsheathed blade, no openings anywhere. I can't find a single crack in his defense. He strikes first. I block. He strikes again. I block. 10 exchanges pass, and I'm still standing. Barely. It's messy and I'm scrambling, but I'm standing. Last week I couldn't survive 1 hit. I make it to 16 before my sword finally goes flying. And that's with depleted stamina. Fresh, I'd have lasted longer. Quinn's satisfaction is practically radiating off him. We go for the full hour, sparring over and over, and I keep improving in real time, just like last week. Fewer openings each round, better reactions, tighter defense. I pass out again at the hour mark. Quinn catches me, carries me to the bath, dumps me in the green soup. Standard Tuesday at this point. After recovering, I head to potion class. And there's Saga, sitting in the front row, looking noticeably healthier than a week ago. Skin less dull, more color in her cheeks. A week of proper food and care is doing wonders for her. Her face lights up when she sees me. Clan, it's been so long. How have you been? Busy. You. That opens the floodgates. She tells me about everything that happened this week. The food, having someone take care of her, the classes she's taking. She talks nonstop until the teacher walks in. She shuts up instantly. Apparently, she learned the hard way what happens when you interrupt these instructors. Smart girl. Then the lecture begins and Saga's eyes glaze over within 5 minutes. She's never had any formal education. Reading, writing, basic science, she has none of it. Potions class might as well be advanced quantum physics for her. She's not alone. The werewolf, the other combat types, none of them can handle academic content. They all skipped anything culture-related because they literally cannot process it without a baseline education. Saga starts sneaking glances at me. She watches me take notes, actually engage with the material, and clearly cannot comprehend how I find this interesting. The only thing keeping her in this classroom is the fact that I'm in this classroom. Honestly, though, this teacher is awful. He just drones on in the most monotone, lifeless delivery possible, repeats old material, and has zero teaching ability. Half the class is asleep. Even with my high spirit stat, sitting through this is genuine suffering. I'm seriously considering dropping this class and just self-studying in the library. My potion talent is only 4. I'm not trying to become an alchemist. I just need to recognize herbs in the wild. A few books would probably teach me faster than this guy. I'll give it a couple more sessions. If he keeps recycling the same content, I'm out. After class, I need to have a talk with Saga about actually paying attention instead of staring at me for an hour. But that can wait. Right now, I've got a sword to swing 5,000 more times. And a bath full of green medicine waiting to put me back together afterward. This is my life now. And honestly, compared to the first 16 years, this is paradise. Want to come to the library with me? Saga's feet literally stop moving. The word, library, hits her like a physical force field. Actually, I just remembered I have something to do. Bye. She vanishes faster than she fled from Batgirl. Incredible. The girl who can fly at the speed of light is somehow even faster when running away from books. I spend the rest of the day in the library. No regrets. Another week passes. Combine gains from daily points and training. 3 strength, 3 agility, 2 constitution, 2 spirit. Growth is slowing down compared to those early explosive weeks, but that's natural. I've hit level 7, and I've figured out that levels are tied to total magic power, not stats. More mana equals higher level. Quinn has noticed the change too. When he suppresses his own stats to match what he thinks is a fair training level, I can now fight him to a draw. Actually, my raw numbers are slightly higher than his suppressed state, which is why I can keep up. His technique is still leagues above mine, but technique can't fully compensate when your opponent just has more of everything. He's starting to worry though, not about my progress, but about resources. I learn too fast. I grow too fast. The amount of supplies I burn through keeps increasing daily. A talent like mine should get top-tier institutional support, but C-rank. On paper, I'm not worth the investment. Quinn knows this, and it frustrates him. It frustrates me too. I've already used 2 of my 10 mid-level magic stones, and I can feel my consumption rate accelerating. 8 stones won't last. My monthly allowance of 50 basic stones starts next month, but 100 basic stones only equals 1 mid-level stone, and the efficiency isn't even comparable. I'm going to need income soon. Students can take on missions voluntarily even during the protection period, and completed missions can offset future mandatory requirements. For my Viscount rank, only D-grade missions or above count as a full offset. E-grade missions take 10 completions to count as 1. So quality over quantity. But that's a problem for later. I still have 500 credits unspent, and there's something I've been putting off that I can't ignore anymore. Blacksmithing. My forging talent is 17, the highest talent on my entire panel by a massive margin. And every fight in the entrance exam reminded me why this matters. I went through 3 weapons in one tournament. If I can forge my own equipment, I never have to worry about that again. After morning training with Quinn, I skip potion class and head to the forging department. I spend some class hours on a private instructor, a mid-level blacksmith named Gangralso. Blacksmith rankings go: beginner, intermediate, advanced, forge master, grand forge master, forge grandmaster, divine smith. 7 tiers. Mid-level isn't high, but for teaching a complete beginner, it's more than enough. Well, complete beginner, with a caveat. I've been reading forging textbooks in the library for weeks. I'm basically a walking encyclopedia of blacksmithing theory with 0 practical experience. Gangralso leads me to his workshop. Why do you want to learn forging? It's a dead-end side profession. Can't compare to alchemy or enchanting. I'm interested. That's enough reason. He shakes his head, clearly thinking I'm some noble kid who'll quit after one session when he realizes forging involves actual physical labor. But money is money, and apparently forging students are rare enough that he can't afford to be picky. Have you ever actually forged anything before? No. Just read about it. He raises an eyebrow. A student who studied theory first but never touched a hammer? That's a new one. All right. Start by removing the impurities from this block of scrap iron. Show me what you can do. He hands me a chunk of raw iron ore and points at the forge. I recall everything from the books. Heat the ore until it's glowing red. Remove it. Begin hammering. I pull the red-hot metal from the forge and start striking. Despite burning through most of my stamina at Quinn's this morning, my strength is over 20 now. The forging hammer feels light in my hands, almost too light. The ringing of metal fills the workshop as I pound away at the ore. Let's see if 17 points of forging talent actually means anything. Gangrauso watches me hammer for about 30 seconds before stopping me. What are you doing? This isn't a strength contest. You're just smashing randomly. You'd ruin a perfect ingot with this approach. You need to observe the ore's structure. Feel its condition with each strike. Work with the metal, not against it. Fair criticism. I was basically treating the iron like it personally insulted me. He demonstrates properly. Now Gangrauso is. Let's say he's got a generous build. Watching a chubby blacksmith swing a hammer isn't exactly elegant. But the sound his hammer makes when it contacts the ore? Beautiful. Like a musical instrument. Every hit rings clean and clear, completely different from my graceless pounding. I watch his movements carefully. The exact points of impact, the precise amount of force, the rhythm. Something clicks in my brain. I can't fully describe it, but it's like looking at a puzzle and suddenly seeing where all the pieces go. Did you catch that? I nod. Try again. He turns away, clearly expecting me to struggle for the next hour. Then, ting, a clear, crisp, musical note rings out from my hammer strike. Gangrauso whips around and stares at me like I just performed a miracle. Ting, second strike. Same perfect sound. His mouth opens, closes, opens again. How? You just washed once, and he can't even finish the sentence. I keep hammering, and most of my strikes land correctly. Clean contact points, proper force distribution, consistent rhythm. For a first-timer, this is apparently supposed to be impossible. I'm honestly as surprised as he is. It just feels right. Like my hands already know what to do. Every strike sends feedback through the hammer and into my palms, telling me exactly where the next one should land. The impurities in the metal are practically announcing their locations. Maybe I really was born to be a blacksmith. 5 minutes of hammering, and I've cleared most of the surface impurities. Gangrauso stops me, his voice noticeably softer than before. Good. Surface impurities are mostly gone. Now I'll show you the deep purification process. He demonstrates the folding technique. Heat the metal in the forge, pull it out, hammer, fold, repeat. Multiple cycles until every last impurity is expelled. Then he casually mentions that forge temperature control requires extensive experience. On my next attempt, I put the ore in the forge and pull it out at exactly the right moment. The same glowing red-orange I saw him use. Gangrauso stares. You said you've never done this before? I can see him mentally questioning everything he knows about teaching. 2 hours of folding, heating, and hammering later, I produce a completely purified iron block. 0 impurities remaining. From scratch. On my first day, Gangrauso goes quiet for a long time. He teaches me shaping and quenching next. Same thing, one demonstration, and I've basically got it. For hours total, and I've forged an actual iron sword. It's rough and crude, but it's a sword that I made. On day 1, Gangrauso looks like a man experiencing a religious awakening. Teaching me, he says later, is a joy. Every step only needs to be shown once. Compared to his usual students who need weeks of repetition, I'm apparently some kind of forging savant. He's also quietly reaching a conclusion he doesn't want to accept. I might have already outgrown him. A mid-level blacksmith teaching a student with a forging talent of 17 is like a middle school teacher trying to mentor Einstein. He can cover the basics, but after that, Clan, you said you're interested in forging. Will you keep at it? Of course. Why wouldn't I? He exhales with visible relief. Then please remember what you said today. Never forget that promise. The sudden seriousness catches me off guard. This man genuinely loves his craft, and just found someone who might actually carry it forward. I respect that. Let's continue to the next step. Sorry, Mr. Gangrelso. I need to leave. I can only dedicate 4 evening hours to forging. I'll be back tomorrow. He opens his mouth to protest, then closes it. I can see the question he wants to ask. Will you still come to me tomorrow? But he doesn't have the courage. He knows his own limitations. A mid-level blacksmith teaching someone with my talent is temporary at best. He's right, honestly. I plan to learn everything basic from him tomorrow, then find a more advanced instructor. It's not disrespect, it's efficiency. Every hour counts. As I'm walking back to my room, congratulations, host. Today you received Charm 1. I stop walking. Charm. The universe looked at my situation, surrounded by enemies, training to survive, racing against time, and decided what I really needed was to be slightly more handsome. My charm hit 74. Thanks, I guess. I'm sure looking marginally better will be very helpful when a monster is trying to eat my face. Although, actually, considering Saga and Winnie's reactions lately, maybe charm isn't completely useless. But I'd still rather have another point of constitution. Next morning at breakfast, Milia keeps staring at me. She can't figure out what's different, but she knows something changed. It's the charm point. 1 invisible stat increase, and suddenly my attendant/spy can't stop sneaking glances. Imagine what happens when it hits 80. I spend my second day with Gangrelso asking every question I can think of. How to salvage a cracked billet. Best quenching methods. Temperature control tricks. Timing for different or types. Everything he knows, I'm extracting and writing in my notebook. He can feel what's happening. He answers every question thoroughly and patiently, but there's a sadness behind his eyes. He knows this is the last time. And he's right. After that session, I've learned everything he can teach me. I move on to an advanced blacksmith the next day. Congratulations, host. Today you received Strength 1. The advanced blacksmith is just as shocked by my learning speed. Unlike Gangrelso, though, his reaction isn't awe. It's jealousy. I sense it immediately. 1 hour in, I switch teachers. No amount of begging changes my mind. The beauty of this system is that I can swap instructors anytime. If your teacher resents you for being better than them, just click Next. Very convenient. This cycle repeats for 2 solid weeks. Train with Quinn in the morning, attend whatever classes or library sessions I need, forge in the evening. Every blacksmith I work with has roughly the same reaction, shock, then either admiration or jealousy. I stay with the admiring ones slightly longer. 2 week stat gains, Strength 9, Agility 6, Constitution 5, Spirit 3. That's over 15 points, but it includes both daily system allocation and training bonuses. Spirit has fallen behind everything else. It was my highest stat when I started, and now it's my lowest. Funny how that works. Then today happens. I'm deep in cultivation when I feel it. The thunder summoning art pushing against its ceiling again. That familiar pressure building. The lightning inside me searching for somewhere to go. Quinn is standing nearby, watching. 2 hours of intense channeling. My body is a lightning rod. Purple arcs dancing across every inch of skin. Then, my eyes snap open. A flash of lightning flickers in my pupils. Level 3. The breakthrough hits like a tidal wave. Electricity surges through every cell, activating something deep in my genetic code. Every stat jumps. My whole body reconfigures itself. Updated status, Strength, 46. Agility, 39. Constitution, 41. Spirit, 34. Level, 11. Charm, 77. Lifespan, 86 years. 46 strength. 1 month ago I started at 5. My stats haven't just doubled, they've nearly tenfold. And at level 3, the Thunder Summoning Art now lets me maintain Thunder Body as a permanent state instead of a short burst. Plus I've unlocked a new move. I can concentrate all my magic power into one massive lightning strike. A finisher. At my current level, it'd be devastating. Quinn walks over with this look on his face, half proud, half melancholic. How do you feel, clan, Mr. Quinn? I'm really hungry. Food's ready. Eat first. Then we test your combat level. Patty rushes out with an enormous platter of roasted meat and a jug of milk. I demolish most of it in minutes. Quinn and Patty watch me eat and somehow get hungry too. Breakthrough hunger is apparently contagious. After a short rest, Quinn pulls me into the training room. He's been gradually increasing his suppressed stat level during our sparring sessions over the past weeks. We've been staying relatively close in power. Use the Flash Thunder Sword this time. He's serious. The practice sword can't handle my output anymore. I need the real thing. I draw the Flash Thunder Sword and attack first. My blade becomes a storm. Thrust after thrust, each one leaving afterimages. The room fills with the sound of ringing steel. Quinn is genuinely shocked at my speed. He can still read my attacks, but barely. He blocks, parries, deflects, but he can't find a window to counterattack. At his current suppressed level, he literally cannot beat me anymore. The realization hits him mid-fight. I can see it in his eyes, this sudden awareness that the student is about to surpass the teacher. He knew this day would come. He just didn't expect it this soon. For one moment, his focus wavers. Just a heartbeat of distraction. My sword slips through his guard. Quinn explodes with his real power, no suppression, and blasts me back. But here's the thing. I block it. Completely. Not a scratch. He stares at me, speechless. Clan, you're really something. I couldn't have gotten this far without you, Mr. Quinn. He shakes his head slowly. At this rate, in 3 months, you might catch up to me entirely. You're joking, Mr. Quinn. No way that happens. But he's not joking. I can see it in his eyes. He's doing the math, and the math is terrifying him. He watches me leave and reaches out like he wants to say something, then drops his hand. I think he's realizing our teacher-student relationship has an expiration date. A short one. After lunch and a quick nap, I head out for my afternoon forging session. But I don't make it to the workshop. Because SHE appears. A girl about my age, walking toward me with the confidence of someone who owns the planet. And when I see her chest badge, I understand why. Marquis. The highest rank I've seen on any student. It's the Saint Maiden from the examination. The one who watched our fights from the VIP section and dismissed me as just a C rank. She got Marquis status without taking a single exam. Just walked in and received it. Meanwhile, I nearly died 5 times to earn Viscount. Life is fair, said no one ever. She spots me and squints, clearly trying to remember where she's seen my face before. You? Come here, she says it the way you'd call a dog. Every instinct in my body screams, walk away, but my brain does the math. She's a Marquis. She could crush me politically, socially, and probably physically without breaking a sweat. I've endured 16 years of humiliation from people with far less power. What's one more? I walk over. She studies me for a moment, then snaps her fingers. Clan, right? Yes, esteemed Marquis. How can I help you? Nothing special. You interest me. Want to be my subordinate? Every red flag in existence is waving. She's clearly a spoiled princess with zero concept of how normal people work. Textbook, terrible person to work for. The smart move is to refuse. I look around. Nobody nearby who could intervene. No escape routes. Her 2 attendants are watching me like hawks. I sigh internally. Fine. Let's see what being a lackey pays. I'd be honored, Saint Maiden. Good boy. She reaches into somewhere and pulls out a pouch, tossing it to me. Your monthly payment. 10 mid-level magic stones. I take care of my people. I freeze. 10 mid-level magic stones. Per month. I was rationing my original 10 stones over months, and she just handed me a monthly supply that doubles my stash? Every negative thought I had about this woman evaporates instantaneously. What spoiled princess? What terrible person? This is a saint. An actual angel. My beloved and generous employer. Thank you, my lady. Don't call me my lady. Call me Saint Maiden, like everyone else. Yes, Saint Maiden, and you're on call. Whenever I need you, you come. Understood. Absolutely, Saint Maiden. Good. Now I'm bored. Know anything fun to do? I draw a complete blank. I've spent the last month doing nothing but training, forging, and passing out in medicinal baths. My idea of fun is reading blacksmithing textbooks. She reads my blank expression and sighs. Figures. Follow me. She leads us to a massive circular building. The moment I see it, I recognize the architecture. It's a coliseum. A fighting arena. The church has a gladiator pit. We walk in and a pretty receptionist immediately bows. Saint Maiden. Welcome. I'll arrange your seating immediately. Thanks. Oh, and get this one, an opponent. She points at me. Wait, an opponent? For me? Excuse me, Saint Maiden. This is my first time here. What are the rules? No rules. This is the beast arena. You fight a monster. Kill it or don't. Simple. She wants me to fight a monster. For her entertainment. I've been her subordinate for approximately 4 minutes. Saint Maiden, I've only been at the academy for 1 month. Isn't fighting magical beasts a bit early for? Her eyes narrow. The temperature drops about 10 degrees. Right. Nobody says no to the Saint Maiden. I forgot that rule during the brief window where she was giving me free magic stones. Okay, clan. You've got strength 46 and a lightning sword. How bad can one arena beast really be? Are you defying my orders? With respect, Saint Maiden, it's too dangerous. I'd rather not. Out of nowhere, a whip materializes in her hand, and she cracks it straight at my face. My reflexes kick in before my brain does. I catch the whip midair with my bare hand. The leather burns my palm like fire, but I don't let go. Everyone freezes, including her. She tries to yank it back. It doesn't move. She pulls harder. Nothing. My strength is 46. She might as well be trying to pull a sword out of a mountain. Will the Saint Maiden be swinging again? I say it calmly. Politely, even. But in this moment, the power dynamic between us has completely flipped. Here's the thing about the Saint Maiden. Saintess, whatever her name is. Turns out it's Xingxin. She has an S-rank talent, yes. But she's barely trained. Without activating her ability, she's just a spoiled girl with a whip and an attitude. Physically, she's nowhere near my level. She keeps pulling. I let go. Because she was yanking with everything she had. The sudden release sends her stumbling backward, and she lands flat on her backside in front of everyone in the arena. Well, that's done it. I'm officially a dead man walking. Xingxin's face goes crimson with humiliation and rage. What are you all standing around for? Her 3 attendants snap out of their shock and surround me. 3 A-rank talent holders. Her personal bodyguard squad. Grab him. All 3 attack simultaneously. And look, under normal circumstances, A-rank talents are scary. But these are my classmates. Same generation. Same age group. And I've been stacking stat points every single day for over a month while training with a level 39 swordsman. I activate Thunder Body. Purple lightning crackles across my skin. 3 kicks. 3 stomachs. Almost simultaneous. All 3 go flying and hit the ground screaming, clutching their midsections. Minimum 2 broken ribs each. They're done for weeks. Xingxin's jaw drops. She was told I'm C-rank. C-rank. And I just dismantled 3 A-rank fighters in about 2 seconds. I walk up to her. We lock eyes. She swallows. What? What are you going to do? Nothing. The question is, what does the Saint Maiden want to do? I don't want to be your enemy. But if you insist on making my life difficult, I can be your enemy. Your choice. I mean every word. I've tolerated a lot in my life. 16 years of abuse taught me patience. But dragging me to a death arena without asking? That's not being a subordinate. That's being treated as disposable. And that crosses my line. Do you understand what you're saying to me? She screams. Perfectly. And if it comes down to it, I'll trade my life for yours right here. Your call. The arena manager rushes over, desperately trying to defuse things before his venue gets destroyed. Saint Maiden, what's happening? Get lost. This doesn't concern you. She could ask him to restrain me. He'd probably do it. But her pride won't allow that. She challenged me. I challenged back, and now she has to answer personally or lose face. So she activates her talent. Behind her, a massive angelic phantom materializes, radiant, beautiful, heartbreakingly pure, 2.5 meters tall, glowing with holy light. The crowd gasps. S-rank talent, soul of the angel. I look at this divine, majestic apparition summoned by the bratty girl who just fell on her butt, and I think, the angels of this world must be blind. How does this person get celestial favor? The arena manager throws up a barrier around us to protect the spectators. Smart. The crowd doesn't leave. They're too busy gawking at a real S-rank talent in action. The angel phantom is incomplete. Xingxin is too weak to summon the full thing. But even at partial power, the pressure is immense. Way beyond what her bodyguards could produce. This is a completely different class of threat. I told you you'd regret this, clan. Now taste what regret feels like. The angel charges. Terrifyingly fast. I barely track its trajectory, block with the flash thunder sword, and get launched across the arena like a ragdoll. My arms are vibrating from the impact. 1 hit, and I'm already flying. Okay, so 10 mid-level magic stones per month was nice while it lasted. My back slams into a stone pillar. I slide down to the floor. Blood trickles from the corner of my mouth. So this is S-Rank. I was wrong. Completely wrong. I thought that since I could handle A-Rank talents, S-Rank would be a bit stronger but manageable. No, S-Rank is a completely different dimension. It's not a step above A-Rank. It's an elevator to a different building. That angel phantom hit me once, and I'm already coughing blood. But then I look at Xingxin, and she's bent over, gasping for air like she just ran a marathon. Maintaining that angel phantom is draining her at an insane rate. She's a spoiled princess who probably never exercised a day in her life before awakening. Maximum firepower, minimum stamina. What an absolute waste of an S-rank talent. You have the most broken ability I've ever seen, and you spend your days watching gladiator fights instead of training? Disgraceful, but also very exploitable. She straightens up, trying to look intimidating while panting like a dog. See, that's my power. You, worthless. The intimidation factor of this speech is approximately 0. Then she sees me standing back up. Her face twists. Why are you still standing? Lady, I spent 10 years getting beaten by professionals. One angel slap isn't going to keep me down. She screams and sends the angel charging at me again. It's gorgeous. Everyone in the arena is mesmerized, staring at the divine beauty of the phantom like they're watching a religious vision. Some of them look like they'd happily die just to be touched by it. Meanwhile, nobody's watching me, which is perfect. I gather most of my remaining magic power into the flash thunder sword. Every last drop I can spare. The blade crackles with concentrated lightning, my strongest attack. The finisher I unlocked from the level 3 breakthrough. The angel reaches me. I swing. Thunder meets divine light. The collision produces a massive explosion. Blinding white light fills the entire arena. Everyone slams their eyes shut. When the light fades and people open their eyes again, the angel phantom is gone. And Xingxin is lying on the ground, blood pouring from her mouth, completely unconscious. I limp toward the exit, every muscle screaming. Magic power nearly empty, but still moving. The arena manager looks like his soul just left his body. The Saint Maiden, got beaten half to death in his establishment. Grab that kid. Now! 2 enormous guards pin me to the ground before I can take another step. Fair enough. I barely have enough energy to breathe, let alone resist. They drag me in front of the manager. Even face down on the floor, held by 2 guards twice my size, I stare up at him without flinching. He looks at my defiant expression and his anger fades. I can see something like respect creeping into his eyes. He doesn't know my talent rank, but he knows I just beat the Saint Maiden. That earns something, even from an enemy. Lock him in my office. He doesn't abuse me or humiliate me further. Just files a report and sends it up the chain. Smart man. Let the higher-ups decide. The news travels fast. The Saint Maiden was beaten by a student at the Beast Arena. The report lands on the desk of the Pope. The actual student Pope of the Royal Academy. He's sitting with the cardinals, the top leadership of the Church's Academy faction. Their first reaction? Stunned silence. Then fury. Someone dared to touch the Saint Maiden? But then they hear the full story, that Xingxin tried to force an unwilling student into a death match, whipped him when he refused, and he only fought back in self-defense. The anger deflates into exasperation. They all know Xingxin. Great talent. Terrible personality. This isn't the first time she's caused problems. But the Pope focuses on something else entirely. Wait, you're telling me the boy actually won? Yes, Your Holiness. Bring me his file. My information lands on his desk. He reads through it and stops at one line. C-rank talent. Attribute point allocation. He stares at those words for a long time. A C-rank talent beat an S-rank Saint Maiden. The test results shouldn't be wrong, but how? Bring the boy to me. And how is Xingxin? Only minor injuries, Your Holiness. She'll recover quickly, minor injuries. Sure, she was unconscious and bleeding from the mouth, but in this world of superhuman bodies, that apparently qualifies as minor. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in an office, waiting to find out if I'm about to be promoted or executed. Honestly, could go either way at this point.